The hole feature is used to create standard shaped and sized holes in solid geometry. The sizing of the hole is based on the hardware that goes into it. We select the hardware. The placement of a hole requires a sketch point or endpoint. The locating sketch geometry must exist before the hole is created. The design of the hole, including the hole type, can be straight, straight tapped, counterbored, countersunk, or taper tapped. The sizing is based on several settings: international standards ANSI metric, ANSI inch, DIN, or ISO. Hardware types, fasteners like bolts, screws, and drill sizes. The size of the hardware, M5 or 11/16. The fit of the hardware in the hole, close, normal, or loose. In addition, there are other options to adjust the diameter beyond the standard settings and additions to the near and far sides. Note that creating a hole does not generate a fastener. We'll start with an existing sketch that represents the bolt circle and the locations of the center hole and the first hole, the source of the pattern. Note that the sketch is closed but visible. Generally, sketches will remain visible until they are used to create a feature, such as an extrusion. Then they will be hidden automatically. But even after they are automatically hidden, they can be shown and used to create other features. Let's add a hole feature. I'll click the Feature action bar in the Hole feature. First, I'll locate the center of the hole. That's where the drill point would contact the part. To do this, I'll click Placement. Next, I'll select the point at the center of the construction circle. We'll see a preview of a hole, but that will change as we define the shape and size of the hole we want. I'll click Design. The settings are hole type, straight, standard, ANSI metric, hardware type, drill sizes, size, 25 millimeters, and depth through all. Click OK. The depth setting is too deep, as the hole cuts through all of the model, including the rear wall. Let's change the depth from through all to something that only cuts through the first wall. Double-click the feature Hole.1 in the Design Manager, select the depth up to next, and click OK. Note that in some situations, either up to next or up to geometry can be used. Up to next does not require a selection, and the next face is found by xDesign when it rebuilds the geometry. Up to geometry requires a face selection and can be faster because it does not have to be determined at each rebuild. Next, I'll place and size the pattern hole on the bolt circle. For placement, we'll show the circular boss hole sketch and select the line endpoint at the top. This is a more complex hole shape, so we'll click the Design tab. The settings are hole type, counterbore, standard, ANSI metric, hardware type, hex bolt, size, M5, and fit, normal. The hole dimensions section of the dialog allows us to change the supplied standard values of the hole. We won't change any, but if we did, the Reset to Standard icons could be used to return to the standard values. For the depth, I'll select Up to Next with the bottom treatment drill point. Click OK. This creates a hole that includes the thickness of the backing plate because it is in the path of the hole. I'll edit the hole and change the depth to Up to Geometry and select the inner face. This changes the hole depth. Click OK. Next, we'll pattern the counterbored hole around the bolt circle. I'll click the Features action bar and the circular pattern icon. I'll select the Hole.2 feature as the feature to pattern and the cylindrical face formed by the Hole.1 as the axis of rotation. I'll use the instance angle with 90 degrees and 4 as the number of instances. That number includes the original or source feature. Click OK and the circular pattern .1 feature is added. In this last section, we'll add a series of holes, using the same hole command, forcing them all to have the same settings of shape and size. These will be countersunk holes for flathead screws. I'll hide the circular boss hole sketch and show the bottom hole sketch, and click Hole. Next, I'll click Placement and select all 4 points visible in the sketch. Switching to the design side, I'll select Countersink, ANSI Metric, Flathead Screw, and M4. Click Through All and OK to add the holes. Note that the preview shows the holes starting on the sketch face and cutting into the geometry. After placing the holes, I've decided to reverse the direction of the countersinks so that the countersunk portion sits on the inside of the shelled part. To do this, we'll need to change the location of the sketch used. It has to be on the bottom inside face of the model. To do this, I'll use Edit Sketch Plane. I'll click the bottom hole sketch in the Design Manager and click Edit Sketch Plane. I'll select the inner bottom face and click OK. The holes reverse, starting on the new face and cutting through to the bottom. The model is now complete.